a mountainous region in northern Thailand on the border with Myanmar and Laos. These three countries form the so-called Golden Triangle. Here in the jungle, there are no physical barriers separating the countries. These Thai soldiers are pursuing smugglers from Myanmar.
I can't predict when the convoys will come, but we have a duty to pursue them every day. They walk in a line. Usually the first and the last person are armed, and the rest make up the drug convoy. They carry homemade guns, long rifles, using metal pellets as bullets. They'd even have AK-47s.
5 days before we arrived, the lieutenant and his men opened fire in the dead of the night.
We were inspecting the area when a group of about 8 or 9 people moved through with weapons. We ordered them to stop, but they fired at us with an unknown type of gun. The firefight lasted about 5 to 10 minutes. By 6:30 in the morning, when the sun rose, we were able to clear and search the area. We found that the group had dropped about 5 sacks containing around 1 million methamphetamine pills.
The Thai army seizes drugs every week. At the end of August, its anti-drug unit unveiled drug hauls totaling 26 tons that included 139 million methamphetamine tablets. Nicknamed yaba in Thailand, or the drug that drives you crazy, methamphetamine is flooding Asian markets, especially Thailand, prompting authorities to launch a nationwide crackdown with the support of the public.
It's good that the military is conducting strict inspections and taking serious measures. We need to be strict because it's such a huge problem. Drugs are threatening to destroy our country.
This synthetic drug is eclipsing opium, the black gold that gave the Golden Triangle its name and brought vast wealth to the region. Opium dens and poppy fields as far as the eye can see are a thing of the past. Yaba pills are produced in tiny clandestine laboratories like this one in Myanmar that was uncovered during a raid by the authorities. Yaba is cheap and relatively easy to make in secret. Money from its sale is used to fund armed groups here amid a 4-year-old civil war. Myanmar is descending into chaos, fueled by its central role in the global drug trade. Villages near the border with Thailand are on the front line of that trade. They're home to countless addicts, some of whom allowed us to film them. The scenes are shocking, so we've used animation to modify the footage. Here, 32-year-old Somchai, who's in the foreground in a red t-shirt, injects heroin, once the Golden Triangle's drug of choice. He's been using heroin daily for 3 years.
Normally, how many times a day do you take heroin?
Many. 7 times, 8 times. These drugs aren't good quality, so I have to inject them over and over again.
The effect is immediate. Somchai and his friend then smoke yaba, small orange pills that are sold here for just 15 euro cents each, 10 times cheaper than a heroin hit.
If you do heroin, it makes you sleepy, but yaba keeps you awake.
Somchai, a farmer, needs to stay awake to clear this field, something he says would be impossible without yaba.
It makes me energetic and gives me the power and motivation to work. But it makes us sweat a lot more than usual.
They use in a way that few recreational drug users in the West would recognize. In Asia, drugs are a source of motivation for workers, everyone from peasant farmers to labourers and taxi drivers. The blight of drugs affects all social classes, and in both rural and urban areas. In Thailand alone, 1.5 million people use yaba. Across Asia, the number is between 10 and 30 million.
I work during the day to get money to buy drugs. I use the drugs, then go back to work again to get money to buy drugs. It's a vicious circle.
As part of the war against drugs, these volunteers visit Somchai and his fellow addicts 2 or 3 times a month. Many have contracted HIV, tuberculosis and other diseases through sharing needles. This morning, they're given new ones.
Somchai, from now on, when you use a needle, please don't reuse it. And no sharing needles with others. These are infected wounds caused by using unclean needles and reusing them multiple times.
It's not only Burmese warlords who lurk behind this trade. The powerful Chinese mafia are also major players. They're at the heart of the new Golden Triangle. We cross to the other side of the Mekong to Laos to find out more about how they earn their wealth. This region is known as the Golden Triangle's Special Economic Zone. In fact, it's an enclave that the Lao government ceded in 2007 to a former Chinese crime boss, Zhao Wei. To enter, we have to show our passports.
Passport.
Oh, passport.
French.
France.
Journalists are not welcome, so we pose as tourists. In a few years, Zhao Wei's money has turned this outpost into a bustling town. The casinos and limousines are a remarkable sight in one of the world's poorest countries. This is Zhao's Rolls-Royce with the license plate 0001. The luxury and ostentation, though, provide cover for a huge money laundering operation. Inside a casino, we use a hidden camera to film the almost exclusively Chinese clientele. The town is a hive for gambling and prostitution, with sex workers from around the world. The US government has accused Zhao of involvement in trafficking both humans and endangered wildlife, and imposed sanctions on him and his criminal network.
In recent years, casinos and Chinese concessions have appeared in the Golden Triangle. There have always been drugs in this region, and drug trafficking is a global problem, but the situation here has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. Pockets with a huge concentration of traffickers have appeared. Drugs are trafficked to countries such as Australia, Taiwan, the Philippines, and even to Western countries.
The drug trade has angered the Chinese government. It's an integral part of President Xi Jinping's flagship New Silk Road initiative. Beijing's attitude hardened in 2011, when 13 Chinese sailors were killed by a drug lord's henchmen in what was known as the Mekong Massacre. It was the deadliest attack on Chinese people abroad since the Second World War. An outraged Beijing sent 200 police officers to the Mekong. Chinese police still conduct regular patrols today.
This is the Chinese boat that was attacked.
This Thai boatman says he's now free of the pirates and their boss.
At first, the narcotics trafficker Na Kam was only a small-time gangster. But then he started acting alone and became more powerful. He started robbing and killing people and trafficking drugs on the Mekong. Methamphetamine, crystal, ecstasy, and many others. But today the region is developed, so it's harder for traffickers to move their drugs around. With all these soldiers here, they risk being caught.
But this region is still in the grip of the drug cartels. In northern Thailand, we meet the soldiers again. This time they're being helped by police officers. They've set up checkpoints on key routes with the aim of intercepting drug smugglers, known as mules, who transport the merchandise to major cities across Asia.
Now let's open and check this, shall we? Where are you going? Chiang Mai? And where have you come from? Most of the time they pack the drugs like this, in here. Or sometimes they modify the inside of their vehicle and conceal the drugs that way. Here's a hiding place, or under here there are compartments and spare tires. Sometimes they hide them in the doors, and other times they don't even attempt to hide them and load them openly in the back of the car. It depends.
Drug trafficking is on the rise. The authorities are overwhelmed, but there has been one success: opium. Poppy cultivation in the Golden Triangle has been cut back drastically in recent years, denying traffickers the source of their black gold. The search for opium takes us to villages in northern Laos, where this opium paste is still produced and smoked illegally. These days, the drug is often mixed with herbs. That makes it far less pure, but also less addictive. For this occasional user, smoking opium is part of the local culture.
I feel like my body is lighter, and I feel good. I feel happy and relaxed. You can see the difference between us and older addicts. They are skinny and unhealthy. I don't want to turn out like them. The government has been telling us to stop planting and using opium since 1955. But as long as people can make money through opium, there will be opium.
Methamphetamine may be driving drug trafficking and addiction in the region. But in these remote mountains, black gold is here to stay.